Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please Binding Wise AFTERBIRTH Plus. How we feeling? Dare I say, calm, cool, collected, 10 wins deep. I'm gonna say that is an Eve run, and boy, I gotta tell you, my radar is calibrated. I'm zeroed in. NZ67 TiVo. Remember that? Those were the days. I never had a TiVo. I'm just stunting right now. Now, we got Eden's Blessing on our last run. That has led to an incredible coup, where on this run, we have the magnet. Just exceptional. We could rely on the magnet. Oh boy, let me count the ways. That could give us as much as 3 or 4 cents over the course of this whole run. Very interesting. This is a tough one for me. I kind of like telepathy as an item. Or not telepathy, teleportation as an item. The problem that I have with it, I guess, is that it's cute, but not necessarily that good. It does save you some time to be able to teleport out of rooms that you might otherwise not be interested in doing in the first place. And, you know, it could give you error rooms. Let's try this out. I was hoping it was something good, and if it wasn't something good, I was hoping that it was explosive diarrhea, and if it wasn't explosive diarrhea, I was hoping it wasn't anything bad. So I guess, you know, third time's a charm on that one. Bombs, please. I'm sorry, I did a bad job of rating the magnet properly. Not only will it occasionally give us consumables that otherwise could not be reached, but it also saves us about a microsecond every single room that a consumable drops because it moves towards me. The consumable, that is, which means I don't actually have to, you know, go all the way to meet an enemy. Or to meet a consumable, I should say. I only have to go like 95% of the way. And the magnet's incredible ionic attraction will help me out. Please, Larry Jr., I beg you, give me some bombs. This is the one time, you know, if I could get the matchbook, I would be over the moon right now. I also think, like, don't quote me on this, because, like, things could go badly pretty quickly. But getting hit once, there you go, might be the best thing that could happen to us here. Now I can just frick off, and honestly, Dead Bird can just hard counter the rest of the enemies, and I should be, you know, I'm not happy to be on 1 HP, but relatively inconsequential. There's always the teleporter, that's all I'm gonna say. We could always say, you know, sucks to the razor blade, and endeavor to maybe take the teleporter instead, hope to get an error room and pivot off of that into something a little bit more useful, but, you know, I don't really want to get rid of the razor blade just yet, but we at least probably want to use teleporter one time. I'm hoping that, like, you get a nickel at this point. You get a bomb, blow up a tinted rock, get a spirit heart and a bomb, blow up the other tinted rock. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna go teleporter just for weirdness' sake, and I gotta tell you, it's a disappointing run so far, only because of the fact, well, okay, only because of the fact that we have 2 tinted rocks on this floor and are unable to do anything with them. It really rubs you the wrong way, you know? It's a kind of, you know, base level annoyance you're gonna have to deal with if you want to have like an acceptable pseudo sort of streak thing going on here. You know, you can't, that's surprising to me. You can't rely on every run to be amazing. Now, I'll admit, having gotten a 3 cents there, which I did not think was very likely at all, we could have tried to go to the shop. I knew that was going to happen. It's called the Law of Irony. That we get a bomb right after we would have needed it the most. Hold on. Don't you do it, buddy. I'll try it. Yo. Let's take it. We do want to take it, even though it comes with a damage downgrade temporarily. And the goat head. I forgot what I was saying. It doesn't, you know, in the end, it's Isaac, you know? The first floor doesn't have to be that dynamite for you to come out ahead. I just didn't want to spend my, my only key trying to make something happen there, you know, on the shop. Now, it turns out we probably could have gotten away with it because we have so many keys that have been mercifully given to us regardless. By the way, thank God for goat head, meaning that we don't actually care about the fact too much that we got hit there. I don't want to teleport yet. That's why I don't want to open any of this stuff yet, because I want to see if maybe, you know, the teleportation could take us to the error room, which would be unfortunate. So pointy rib is just fine. I'm excited to see how things go in the future for us. That's a black market, guaranteed. I like this run right now, believe it or not, specifically because of the fact that it's a weird challenge. You know, we've had a lot of runs lately, and it was very dumb of me, but I mentioned this on the, you know, the previous streak. No Krampus, please. I'll take Death's List. I'll get funky with it. We got Super Bandage waiting right outside anyway. I mentioned this on the last streak where we got up to like in the 40s. I will never apologize for runs being too easy on a streak, because you know you're gonna have to deal with hard runs as well. So you take the easy ones, you know, when you can, and then you store up your fat for the winter for the hard ones. Almost walked right into that. And this is it's not necessarily looking that difficult, but it does look like a little bit of a harder one right now. And really, I think we can get Bookworm. Am I willing to spend 2 Spirit Hearts? I think I am. What I'm trying to do, there we go, is use how to jump to grab enough books to take us to Bookworm. As you can see, it's not an exact science necessarily. Now, we don't need to grab Book of, we don't need, oh no, you fool. We don't need to grab Book of Belial. We don't need it. What we want is Book of Shadows, so we have some invincibility. Alright, so that was a little bit of a funky way to get that done, but I think the cost of 1 Spirit Heart to get the Bookworm and to, you know, also get Book of Shadows, which is probably an upgrade over teleportation, is solid. I'm a happy man. Okay, weird run to some extent so far, but a fun run nonetheless. That's what I like about Isaac, you know? Another song, by the way, that, as we mentioned in an earlier episode, only shows up in movie trailers and TV promos. That's what I like about you. You give me my man, and I'm a one, shine us home, somebody me feel alright. Basically, any song that's ever been used in a promo by TBS is guaranteed to be in that camp of pseudo-novelty songs. Yo, dude. Who's making fun of the magnet now? Sorry, I had a notification pop up. And I said, my god, it's a notification. I didn't say that. Those were the days, dude. Back in the days of the original meme lords. Those were not the days. Those were days, don't get me wrong. I don't know if I would describe those as the days, though. It really, you know, depends where you were in your life at that point, you know? Were you on iCanHasCheeseburger.com? I mean, it's cringy to say, don't get me wrong. But at least, here's what I'm gonna say, okay? I like to... I consider myself objective when it comes to judging either my generation or the current generation or generations of the past. I think we've all done things right and wrong, and certainly we've all done things differently. However, all I'll say is that our garbage memes, when I was like, you know, between the ages of 18 and 22, they were just bad, and we knew that they were bad. Nowadays, Newsweek writes articles about, like, millennial memes, and then the millennials, of which I consider myself a camp, like, objectively speaking, reply, well, actually, they're not crap, they're Dada, and Dada is a response to the growing tragedy of the world that makes people feel like all of their input is absurd and meaningless. I'm like, bro, it's a picture of a jar of peanut butter, and then it's SpongeBob SquarePants going, I love peanut butter. So, like, do we have to get into the whole... I understand, you know. I took the classics classes as well. I'm just not sure it's applicable to the peanut butter situation. Not that I don't find it hilarious. By the way, I recently, as long as we're talking about older memes, I recently purchased some Tide Pods. And I'm not getting into the whole, you know, edibility situation, because obviously they're poison, you know. should be self-apparent. However, what on earth happened in the previous year? I've used laundry pods before. Normally, same with dishwasher pods. You know, they come in a box, and then you open the box, you take a pod, you throw it in your dishwasher, you throw it in your washing machine, you're good to go. Tide Pods have an anti-child lock on the top of them, and like 9 warnings now that say, do not eat this. Do we really need this? I know I talked about the Tide Pod situation last year. I stand by the opinion that, you know, if you are an adult that consumed the Tide Pod for a joke, I'm sorry to tell you, but that's, I don't want to say a net positive for the world. That's a little cruel, but I will say is like, you know, I think, you know, it'd be nice if the government could protect you, I suppose, but what are they going to do to protect you when you're like, yeah, I know it's poison, but I ate it anyway. I mean, I knew it was poison, bro, but I didn't know how poisonous. It's soap. Moreover, it's laundry soap. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. Dude, this I'm excited pill is crushing me. We need this deal with the devil to do better for us. I'm a big fan of the pods. I gotta tell you, I've been doing my own laundry a long time. You know, 13, 14 years now. You can get away. I understand, you know, R Frugal might be in the comments below saying laundry soap is a racket, you know, you could dilute it, etc., etc. Here, the average person, though, is they're popping, you know, a little bit of detergent, comes in a big bottle, a little bit of fabric softener, comes in a big bottle, maybe an Eco Boost or something like that, comes in a box with some powder. The pods are, you know, I think it's a good innovation. I think it's all that stuff in one single package. Here's the thing. You might think like, oh, he's being a shill for the Tide Corporation. It's not true. You ever look at like, you know, how many detergent brands are owned by Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson? You can't feel superior just because you don't buy Tide Pods. You're giving them your money one way or the other, right? So, I'm just saying, for convenience's sake, I'm a big fan of the pods. And I want you to know if you're like, well, I do my laundry the old-fashioned way. I don't picture you as being enlightened. I picture you wearing, like a smock and then scraping your clothes over a washboard. That also doubles as your favorite musical instrument. A-ding, ding, 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 ding. Now, that's a banjo. Dude, okay, now we got something going on here. This run was starting to get a little bit peanut puttery, and I think now we got it in a better situation here. I'm just saying, I'll go to bat for the pods. It's not... I'm not trying to defend the corporation necessarily. All I'm saying is it's not their fault that their product became a meme for like a reason that makes no sense whatsoever. I got sympathy in that regard because I think that it's an evolution of the laundry detergent industry. It doesn't matter if we get hit again. Don't get hit enough to put yourself in jeopardy, but it doesn't matter if you take a little bit of damage from a deal with the devil precedent sort of situation. Stat up? No stat up. Appreciate the HP, though. We've already been there, dude! Whew. I gotta tell you, when it comes to chore rankings, laundry is a weird one. People, by the way, namely Robert, and I'm not calling him out for this, but sometimes, you know, I still complain about doing the dishes. I spent like a decade doing dishes by hand before we got a dishwasher. The dishes are still a chore, okay? They're easier, substantially easier now when you have a dishwasher. There's no doubt about that. But simultaneously, they are still a chore that's worth complaining about. The laundry, though, is always a weird chore. Because the main chore associated with the laundry is not putting the clothes in the laundry. Can't even open that. Is not putting the clothes in the dryer after the washing machine's done. It's the folding. I don't know if there's another chore like that on planet Earth where there's like 3 steps. The first 2 steps are like under 2 minutes each, and the final step, it takes like a load of laundry being folded is like a 15-minute chore. I'm not complaining too much. I mean, it's still like, you know, it's nice to have clean clothes. And, you know, you can fold your laundry while you're watching the television or maybe watching your favorite YouTuber. That's right, Markiplier. And then, you know, if he hasn't uploaded anything in a little while because he's, oh, I'm a philanthropist. I'm doing good for planet Earth. You can watch me play Isaac and complain about,
Oh, the machine that does my laundry for me doesn't fold it for me. Boo-hoo.
That being said, I saw at CES. I wasn't there, but I saw I saw footage of it. There's a machine now that folds your laundry. And I have no idea if it'll ever come out and reach critical mass. Like, as of right now, it's like $2,000, and it looks like a, you know, like a floor-mounted air conditioner or a freestanding air conditioner unit. Like, it's a tower. You put clothes into the top of the tower. At least we get an item. Please don't be Cursed Eye. I started a joke that started the whole world laughing. Oh, thank you. But thank you for taking me to the secret room. Shouldn't have even taken it, dude. That's on me. We really want to go to the shop and get mad charges so that we can just walk into enemies over and over. But anyway, basically, you put your clothes in the top. After they come out of the dryer, you know, it does a little machine processing of some sort. Goes, this is a t-shirt, fold it, and then it spits it out at the bottom. And you get like a little pancake stack of folded clothes at the bottom. I recognize the urge to be like, wow, this generation's so lazy. Just recognize that, you know, your great-grandparents would say the same thing about literally everything that you do on a daily basis. Driving a car to work. Wow. Back when I was a kid, you just walked, you know, 40 miles to school both ways, and then you worked at your granddad's farm until, you know, 6 p.m. when you went to bed because there was no electricity and the sun went down, so you couldn't see what you were doing. So I'm not excited about the prospect of paying $2,000 for a laundry folding machine, and that's assuming it even worked well in the first place. But, you know, how much, the first Roomba probably cost like as much as a freaking house. So if that comes out and, you know, maybe the people in San Francisco purchase enough of them, maybe they can get their unit cost down. You know, if I could pay $300 for a machine that folds my laundry for me, dude, I'm not saying everybody's financially in that position, and that's fine too, but I would be all over that. I am all for the extra convenience of modern life. At least when appropriate, okay? Like, you know, I'm not a lazy individual, sort of. Kate described it very well. She watches another Twitch streamer, and she said, he and you are the same. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, you're both lazy. And I said, what do you mean lazy? And she said, you know, lazy except about work. I thought that was a beautiful turn of phrase and a great way to describe my sentiment. I have a fantastic work ethic. Outside of work, I do get into moods where I'm like, you know, if I vacuum, I'm just gonna have to vacuum again later. Why vacuum? I don't actually have that argument because I recognize that it's stupid, but you kind of get what I mean, right? So I have a great work ethic. But anything domestically, ventricular razor, jumper cables. Jumper cables is fine, I can live with that. But anything that I could, you know, maybe use to make domestic chore life a little bit easier. Like, let me put it this way. If I was to do 3 loads of laundry, that's basically like, you know, you got the time investment with the washing machine and the dryer to begin with. You know, you can't get any faster than that. But in terms of labor, right now, that's like 45 minutes of labor. Big whoop, you know? It's nice to have a couple weeks worth of clean clothes. But if you get the laundry machine, it's like 10 minutes of labor. It's beautiful. It's probably less than 10 minutes of labor, actually. You know, because all you do is feed the stuff into the top of it. It folds it for you. Then, you know, nobody hates the part of laundry where you put the clothes in the drawers. Who cares? You know, that's easy. Anyway, I'm just saying. I've railed against this a couple of times in the past, but, you know, you have to resist this notion, and I'm saying this in all sincerity. You have to resist the notion that, like, you know, anything that's convenient is bad as a result of its convenience. The thing is, when you're born into the world, you think that things are the same, you know, the way that things are now is the way that, you know, that's like the neutral case. That's the null hypothesis of how they should be. But really, you're standing on the shoulders of, you know, 10,000 years of human evolution. Not just genetically, I mean technologically as well. Sometimes you know, there is merit in doing things the easy way just because it's easier. I mean, the other thing is, to be honest, like, I've been folding laundry for a long time. I think if I was ever going to get good at it, that would have happened already. So, you know, if the machine can fold better than I do, and I resist your gaslighting questions, by the way, which are going to be like, how can you trust the machine not to shred your clothes? Well, it's something, you know, I'm going to read the user reviews before I even consider purchasing this machine that, as of right now, has only existed as a prototype at a consumer electronics show, infamous for products not actually reaching, you know, the populace because of the fact that there's a lot of impracticality associated with them. You know, I'm not gonna... It's the same as the bank machine argument, you know, where you're like, how can I trust the machine not to eat my check? Well, okay, how can you trust the human being to not screw up on the deposit, which has happened many times in the past? I'm not saying the computer's infallible, I'm just saying, you know, you gotta wait till it hits a certain level of functionality before you get too concerned about it. Speaking of concern, though, I am a little bit concerned about this run. Our invincibility is lovely. Our stats are horrible. I don't want to make people too upset by telling it like it is, but it's the honest to goodness truth that, you know, we have 7 rate of fire and 3.32 damage. And if that sounds familiar, it's probably because this is the exact same stats we had like 4 floors ago. We're only on the depths 1 here. So I'll tell you, what do I want to see in my deal with the devil? I want to see an Athame. I want to see a Gimpy. I want to see, I want to fight Chad and get little Chad. Because I think we need, like, our best path for success right now is or Unicorn Stump would also be incredible. The best path to our success right now, in my opinion, involves being able to leverage the fact that we have Midas touch, walk into enemies, and like come out ahead of the situation as a result. But I'll recognize I'm doing most of my damage with pointy rib and very rarely shooting. That's because we got Cursed Eye. Now, I could also just use my noggin and be a little bit better on the Cursed Eye, you know, situation to begin with. No questions there. But, you know, it's not that I resent it, but I will say, having had 3 deals with the devil already, our net gain has been Death's Touch, or sorry, Death's List, which is fine, but, you know, not really that good, to be honest. And, what else? 6 red chests, one of which had a Cursed Eye we couldn't see due to Curse of the Blind. Life goes on. Just saying, I wouldn't mind like a little extra help. More options. I mean, with this kind of money, I think we're totally fine here. Keep in mind we also have 2 of Diamonds still active. I don't really even care about Spider Mod. I'll definitely take Tarot Cloth for sure. And a Yera Rune. I'm just going to pop it right out the gate here. We have like unbelievable amounts of 2 of Diamonds now. We won't be able to take them all with us. That's okay. I will take BFF. Should've, well, let's just do that for now. Card is High Priestess. I'll carry High Priestess in, and gotta love his card as well. Nice, lucky us. And actually, we're gonna make Death's... I think we made Death's List work. Maybe not. Krampus. Okay, there's good news as a result of this. The good news is that, like, we can't... Oh, we got a Tears upgrade there. We can't continue to just get screwed on deals with the devil. The only way we can get screwed at this point is bad items. Could happen, by the way. I just think that at some point the levee's gonna break. And it's not like we have no path to victory. We have a very obvious path for victory. It's just kind of tedious to get there. Unless we get Unicorn Stump, in which case we'll be over the moon. But our stats for one more room remain truly horrendous. Ensus, easy plays. Don't care about the money, might care about the bombs. Love it. Anytime, like, this is a gimme. By the way, loving the luck stat too. But anytime we have the opportunity to walk into a room where there's a single enemy, Death's List is a dream come true. And maybe that's a good way to start thinking of that card. You know, stop thinking Prague Police, start thinking PlayStation. Vin Diesel as Xander Cage in the movie Triple X. Words to live by. Stop thinking Prague Police. This is a phrase that an adult said to another adult. Stop thinking Prague Police. Start thinking PlayStation. Ooh, wah, ah, ah. I can't do an ooh, wah, and that's why I love to do it so much. Because it's clear that I'm doing it for the love of the game. Yo! Money equals power. 3.3 damage. And, I mean, we're gonna be at 99 cents forever. So we actually... I mean, we basically doubled our damage right there. And, still think our DPS is pretty subpar, but it's a very, very, very nice pickup for us without a doubt. So we're looking for, honestly, a Chaos would be a big pickup. Compost, not so much. Mama Mega. I don't really care about making it to boss rush here. None of these appeal to me. Even Backpack. You know, I will take it just because it's cheap and we can afford it, but... and you... okay. I don't know how this is gonna work. Does it charge both of your items? I can't remember. We might as well buy one more thing and then just pop this. If it charges both of your items, now we have like a very strange means of garnering a little extra invincibility, albeit not much. It does charge both of your things. Okay. Well, it's very interesting. No question there. Kinda just trying to use Pointy Rib, which I'm realizing now had a very large benefit from BBF. Oh, jumper cables. Okay. There we go. Easy. Finally, a real deal with the devil. We'll take the Pact. I will take Dark Bum to get us a little closer to invincibility, even though we have this Eternal Heart and we're going to get another one right away anyway. I just think that we have the HP to leverage at this point, so why not take advantage of it, right? So that's my working theory for what we got going on right now. Is, well, I mean, that's unfortunate, but having two forms of invincibility does good stuff for us. Our raw stats are actually great now, or at least pretty above average. Probably still open by using Book of Shadows, but like Dull Razor does give us decent invincibility, and we're starting to build something unique here. This is a cool run. It's taken me a while to get to the maturity level where I feel like I can say it, but yeah, it's definitely, and there's a Tinted Rock back there. You know what? Why not? It's definitely a little bit different than your average run, and I think that works well for it. And again, a testament to the design of Isaac, honestly. I also have to say that, like, Death's List is doing great work for us. It gave us a stat upgrade on a room where, and we're hopefully getting so much luck out of this. Or 0 luck is the other alternative, but okay. It's giving us damage bonuses, or let's call them stat bonuses, because there's no way to guarantee that they're damage, on a room where all we're doing is pressing a button. So, like, that's unexpected, but welcome, without a doubt. And, of course, the occasional Spirit Heart doesn't hurt either. Also, one of the very, very rare times I've managed to use the backpack appropriately to actually have 2 items of some value. Feels good, honestly. Feels Feels affirming. Probably should be trying to make Death's List work here, but you know, it's not as easy as you might consider. Nope. Especially with the BBF, which I probably should have said no to when it showed up. You know what? We should. Again, the twin specters of Invincibility should make this pretty simple for us. And I'm just trying to, at this point, get as much luck out of the situation as I can. Seems to be working out pretty well so far. You know what? We probably would like a fly, to be honest. More so than Maggie's Faith, which has actually done wonders for us, but given us at least a few HP up. 5 luck. There we go. This is actually, against all odds, it's become one of my favorite runs recently. And you know what? Let's take Cambion Conception, but not take the razor or the nail, I should say. We already had the razor, and I'm leaving the bone hearts behind. And I'll tell you why. It might seem a little funky, and it might be a little funky, but I don't really see a good reason to potentially screw up our HP right now. Like, we're totally set, and I don't think that the effect of the bone hearts is really that meaningful right now. In a lot of situations, I don't look down on bone hearts, do quite the opposite. They're fantastic helpers for us. Hello.
Do you want anything from Mickey?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for asking, though. Now we are actually, bizarrely, possibly gonna make the Hush fight. I have no desire to do the Hush fight. I think our run actually gets countered by the Hush. We'd probably still win, and my guess is relatively easily, but I'm not willing to put up or shut up on that one. I'm just gonna talk a big game and then abstain. Kind of like my high school experience. Okay. He did not get frozen. I take great offense to that. And our final deal with the devil. Of course, it starts, or it ends much like it began. I think we just... I think I used Dull Razor there accidentally. We want permanent Polaroid invincibility. So yeah, we're gonna skip the Hush fight. But dude, this ended up being a really, really fun time. I'm a happy man. I don't know why I said it like in the mob. Maybe because I watched Gotti recently. It's true. I was disappointed in Gotti, and let me explain to you why. I know that the movie was bad. It had like a 2 on Rotten Tomatoes, and notoriously came out with that hilarious ad. The critics have put out a hit on Gotti. It's like, I guess, you know, is a pretty bad sign when your movie does so poorly in a critical reception that you feel the need to run an ad campaign highlighting how bad the critical reception is. But anyway, it definitely was bad, but it wasn't bad in the Tommy Wiseau way that I thought it would be. Like, I definitely think John Travolta's portrayal of Jan Gotti was pretty hilarious. The writing was extremely over the top, but for the most part, I hate to say it, it was just poorly crafted, and that's the unfortunate part. It's not such a dazzling display of, as the French say, les incompétences, as to make for an entertaining so bad it's good view. You know, on a traditional filmmaking scale, I would give it a literal 1 star out of 5. On a so bad it's good scale, I'd give it like a 2 or a 2.5. It's not quite so bad it's good, or at least it's not bad in the ways that are funny. It's not, I mean, there are some moments that are pretty ridiculous for sure, but if you're a connoisseur of so bad it's good filmographies, I still think you probably end up being like, I could have spent my time watching, you know, Blood Rain instead. Anyway, this run is coming down to its logical conclusion. Sure, honestly, I'm happy with the teleport. We have 5 luck, by the way, in case you don't recall. I do expect to see a lot of items, and, you know, I don't think there's any item in the game at this point that, you know, could just destroy us by being a question mark. Whoa, he spooked me. In hindsight, you should not have spooked me, because I knew you were coming this way anyway. Conehead. Hey, why not? Why not? Alright. I wouldn't say I'm, like, proud of us for winning this one, but I am proud that we, like, embraced the Zane in a way that is a little bit atypical. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, it's the Goddyisms. My brain has put out a hit on English. Also, I mean, it's not like I went into the movie expecting John Gotti to be a, oh my god, Camby and Conception has done such incredible work for us here. It's not like I came into the movie expecting, like, John Gotti to be a sympathetic character. But by the end of the movie, I was like, I'm kind of glad this guy's dead. I mean, Gotti is based on a true story, but, you know, and I don't know, maybe he's got a little bit more of a different legacy, you know, in his neighborhood. But he spends the whole movie being, like, an okay but not great father and a really, really terrible human being. And then at the end of the movie, there's all this footage of people being like, the neighborhood was safer when John Gotti was around. John Gotti's a hero as far as I'm concerned. And I'm like, movie? You didn't earn that. You showed him shooting like 20 people in the head. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. And I will see you next time. See ya.